Hello guys, in our last videos, we have already built the foundation of our Greenleaf landscaping website, starting from the very beginning with the HTML boilerplate, then creating our clean header, and finally designing that beautiful hero section with a background image and the CTA button. Now that those core pieces are ready, it is time to move forward and add another very important part of any real website, the About section. This section is where we introduce who we are, what we do, and why people should trust our service. It's not just decoration, it actually helps build credibility, allows visitors to understand the personality of the business, and even helps with SEO when combined with headings and clean meta tags. So, in today's lesson, we'll type the full HTML and CSS for the About section line by line, and I'll explain every single line in a very simple way, just like we have been doing so far. So let's begin. So we are going to continue exactly in the same style as we have created header and hero section. Nice and simple, one block at a time, and we'll build now the about section. Just like the header and hero section, the about section, as I have said before, is an essential part of almost every website. This is the place where you tell visitors who you are and what your business does and why they should trust you. It creates credibility, improves SEO, and helps people connect with your brand before they scroll further. So now, staying fully consistent with our previous structure, let's start typing the HTML code for the About section, and then we will write the matching CSS right after it. So I'm gonna start by creating a section for About. Giving it an ID helps us link to it from the navigation menu. So this is why we have given it an ID. An ID name is about, so it can connect with the navigation menu because it keeps this section separate and easy to style. So next we are going to create an image source. Image source about.jpg, and this about.jpg is the file name that is already there in the project folder, and we will also have to work on this image when we are going to start creating CSS code. So now we need to create a container as well, as we did a separate container or separate boxes for hero and header section. And the class name we can keep is about dash content. So this about content class will be a container for my text. This keeps the heading and paragraph grouped together, and it allows me to control the layout separately from the image. Now, where is the text? Here it goes. And what should we write here? Okay, the suggestion is good, so let's stick with this suggestion about Greenleaf landscaping. Now the paragraph. green leaf landscaping provides professional lawn services. Please keep in mind that the paragraph I'm writing already contains some keywords that helps the search engine optimization. So, garden design. So, whatever you type the text on your web page or website, just always make sure that they have highly friendly SEO keywords so that they easily appear on searches, and they also rank high when someone is googling or whatever browsing they are using to search a specific term. So, and eco-friendly, uh, outdoor maintenance services. We help home owners create healthy, beautiful, and low maintenance gardens with expert planting, um, trimming, seasonal care, and complete landscaping solutions. So, as you can see, I have picked up some I have picked up some keywords that you will find very common when people search for this specific type of service. So the more you create your content around the SEO optimization keywords, the more your website ranks high when someone is searching it online. So after typing this, we have closed our container pod, and I have also closed the about section. So after doing this, let's start styling it, this section, the about section, and let's move to the CSS code. All right, so now we have fully completed our HTML code for the about section. Before we jump into the styling part in the next session, let's quickly see how it looks in the browser without any CSS applied. So go ahead and press Ctrl S to save your file here in Visual Studio Code. Once it is saved, simply open your project folder and double click on the file name index.html. So let me click on the index.html. All right, so now we have fully completed our HTML code for the about section. But before we jump into the styling part in the next lesson, let's quickly see how it looks in the browser without any CSS applied. So first, let me save my own file. Save it. I have saved. Refresh the browser. And here it is. So this shows you the raw unstyled structure of the about section that we just created. It doesn't look much pretty yet, and that's okay. This is the natural HTML skeleton, and in a few moments we will bring it to life with proper CSS styling. So let's preview it, confirm everything is appearing correctly, and then we move on to the fun part, styling this entire section beautifully. So let's do it by creating CSS code. Now let's add styles for the about section, and I'm gonna explain every line as I type it. So this line, which reads about section, this comment is just a divider so we can find the about styles quickly in our style sheet. So we start with the global setting for the about section. And this is a start of the about container rules. Padding 60 pixel and 20 pixel. Padding gives the section breathing room 60 pixels above and below, and 20 pixels left and right, so content doesn't feel cramped. So now background color, for our about section. F6, FV, F6. So as you can see, a very light green color has appeared that separates the about section visually from the darker hero background. Here I use CSS variable light green, which you can set to hash F6 FV F6. That hex code is a 6-digit RGB hexadecimal color where hash F6 FB F6 means high red, green, or blue, values for a pale greenish tint. Now let's give a color variant hash 123524. And now this sets the default text color inside this inside the section, a deep green in hexacode that reads well on the light background. Using variable keeps the palette consistent. Now let's focus on the display, and display is flex style. Using Flexbox places the immediate children, image and content side by side by default, which is perfect for 2-column layouts. Now align them. Align the items of the about section as centered. This line vertically centers those 2 columns within the section so the image and text line up in the middle. So their gap should be 40 pixel. This gives a consistent 40 pixel horizontal gap between the image column and the text column. Flex wrap it. This allows the column, both the columns to wrap onto separate lines on small screens so the layout won't break. This makes the layout responsive. So let's end the about container rules. So our next class was about image dot about dash image. So now let's make a rule for the image column wrapper. So we are going to use flex 380 pixel. This line is the flex shorthand. Flex grow 1 means it can grow to fill space. Flex shrink 1 means it can shrink when space is tight. And flex basis 380 pixel is the ideal starting size. So the image column prefers 380 pixel but will adapt. So the next line is minimum width. We select minimum width to 260 pixels. It prevents the image column from becoming too narrow on small screens, so the image remains usable. And next one is maximum width 260 pixel. This prevents the image column from becoming too narrow on small screens, so the image remains usable. Maximum width, minimum width, and maximum width should be 520 pixel. And by this line, by writing this line, we prevent the image column from stretching too wide on very large screen, which keeps the layout balanced. And what should its display be like? And we keep the display as a block to ensure predictable sizing and removes inline image quirks. So this completes our CSS style for the image. And this was the global setting. Now let's directly style the image. About dash image. So this is the style that applies directly to the image inside the image wrapper. So we make its width to 100%. This is going to make the image fill the width of its container. Height is auto. We have set the height to auto so to preserve the image's aspect ratio so it doesn't squash or stretch. Next, let's set the display as a block. This is going to remove the default small gap under inline images and makes layout consistent. So let's give it a border. Border radius, we have made it 8 pixel. It's going to soften the image corners for a modern look. Now box shadow. Since this border radius is a box, now let's give this box a shadow, and border shadow is could be 8 pixel, 22 pixel, hexacode RGBA, 14, 64, 35, 0.08. This adds a very subtle depth. RGBA 1464350.08 is an RGBA color, RGBA where RGB are red, green, blue. Numeric values are from 0 to 255 and A is alpha 0 to 1 for transparency. So this shadow color is the brand green with 8% opacity. So the object fit should be cover. So this line ensures the image fills its container and crops the image where necessary while preserving the aspect ratio. This keeps the photo looking nice when the container dimensions change. So the CSS rule is complete. So let's see what else class we had made, and the next class is the content class. So dot about dash content. Now we are going to make the rules for the text columns. Flex settings are 420 pixel. It's the same flex idea. The text column prefers about 420 pixel, but can grow or shrink as necessary. This helps balance the image and text column. So let's set the minimum width. So minimum width is 260 pixels. This protects readability at narrow widths so paragraph don't become tiny or splashed. So now we have heading to style. Yes. About dash content, and the heading name is heading 2. This is the heading inside the content column. Let's set is font size. Font size is 1.8 rem. This sets a clear, prominent size for the section title. REM stands for relative to root font size. Margins 0, 0, 12 px 0. This only adds 12 pixel space below the heading to separate it from paragraph text. Color. What should be the color? Color is set to black. Another typo as usual. Darker heading color for contrast, a darker green for the heading so it stands out from body text. It's not, sorry, it's a black color, not a darker green. So now let's Now let's start main paragraph styling. And let me check our class about dash content. P here stands for paragraph. Font size 1 rem. Comfortable base size for body text. Line height is 1.6. No spacing between the rem values. So the 1.6 height increases line spacing to improve readability. 1.6 is a comfortable reading line height. So the next code line is margin bottom 18 pixel. It gives space below the paragraph, so following elements don't touch it. Color for the paragraph content 243433. It's a slightly different deep green for body copy, readable contrast on the light background. Max width can be set to 720 pixel. It limits the line length on very wide screens so reading remains comfortable. Long lines are harder to follow. So let's close this block of code. So next I'm going to give you some optional and a small list of feature badges if you add a list in HTML. So I think since we are not going to add any list to our existing HTML code, we leave it for the next advanced level sessions. So here it is. So let me save this code and let's see how does it has affected the look of the about section. So let's save this code and switch to our browser. As you can see, without applying the CSS code, the picture is just out of the proportions. It's not properly visible on the big screen, and on a smaller screens like mobile phones it will also look very odd, and the text is also out of proportions, as you can see here. So let's save the code, the CSS code that we have just applied, and refresh our browser, and here you go. So as you can see, the picture is looking fine now. It is within the parameters that we set in the CSS code, and both the image and the text is and content of the about section are in two columns. And you can also see that there is a very light background, and it is different from the hero section, which is here. So all right everyone, this brings us to the end of today's lesson. So far in this mini project, we have built the head section, the header, the hero area, and today we added a clean and professional about section that fits perfectly into our one-page Greenleaf landscaping website. You can already see how everything is coming together: simple structure, clean CSS, and a real world layout that you can use for any portfolio or client project. In the next video, we'll move forward and build the services section. This is where your website starts feeling complete because services lets your visitors instantly understand what value you offer. And just like today, we'll code it step by step, HTML and CSS side by side in a clean and practical way. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel CodeTech Lab so you don't miss the next lessons in this full beginner friendly series. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next class.